Okay, good afternoon. Thoughts on the game from last night and the win? Uh, Again, complimenting the defense. First of all, I give them the game ball to the entire defense. I thought that was appropriate. TJ Edwards continues to play really well for us. He now has 110 tackles, and that's the first in franchise history through 10 weeks to get to that number. So that's a pretty cool number. The pressure by the D line was good. Having 3 sacks. Ngakwe, Jones, and Green. Jones also had a career high 3 quarterback hits and also a pressure, so he had 4 total there. And then Sweat, having the effect of Tez, that the Tez factor is a pretty cool thing to see. He had 8 quarterback pressures or hits yesterday, and you could feel him forcing those incomplete passes, the hits on the quarterback, and that certainly has an effect on their passing game. I thought Kyler Gordon played really well. Yesterday for us, 2 TFLs, which is a career high for him. He also had 8 tackles and a 3rd down stop, which is at the end there, which is really cool. We held the Panthers 3 out of 15 on 3rd downs, 20%. And over the last several weeks, we've been doing better on the 3rd downs. That percentage is coming down for us, which is good to see. Another number there is 0 sacks, 0 turnovers, and 0 offensive TDs allowed, first time since '98. Here at the Bears, so those are good numbers. When you allow 0 sacks, and that's hard to give. And 0 turnovers, that's a winning formula. For really winning football. And Santos, 3 for 3, really was 4 for 4. Credit the operation there, the snap, the hold, the kick. Obviously, him hitting the milestone of 200, the number 200 is big, and then obviously the long of 54. Making that back to back like that is really shows his growth, and his leg strength is improving. This part in that part of his career. This part of his career is really really cool. I thought we played some good complementary football on 3rd down. I mean, in the 3rd quarter, with Gill's 62-yard punt and pin. We backed him up. The defense did a heck of a job of stopping him there. And then we got the ball back on the 38. Went 9 plays for a TD to make it 16-10. And that was good on that part of the game. We just I thought we came out clean in terms of injuries, so that's always a good thing. And then the guys, like I said, are taking rest and recovery over the weekend and enjoying their families and enjoying the weekend after the victory. So with that, open up to questions.
With Montez, it's been a whirlwind for the last 8 days. Really haven't had a chance to work with him much. What do you anticipate the next 2 months can be like for him once he gets his feet on the ground, once you guys are able to kind of get your fingerprints on him?
Yeah, just to go, just keep improving. Just really, I think that factor that we're talking about will just keep going. I think he's helping our other guys rush. We're rotating our guys a little bit better, I believe. Keeping our guys fresh. I think that's going to be important, because you want to have those guys, those rushers in the 4th quarter. The games are always going to be tight, so we got to have those guys at the end.
When you mentioned Kyler, since he's come back off IR, it seems like his presence makes a difference. How do you describe just what having him as part of the machine does?
Yeah, he's dynamic. We've had some good, in our scheme, there's been some good nickels, that have really taken over the game and done a good job, as of recent too. But that's an important position. Those guys are right in the middle of the action. They're right in the middle of the passing game because they're on the strong side of the formation there, and there's a lot of action there. It's also with the will linebacker stands over the ball a lot. So those 3 guys in the middle there are really key. And you want playmakers that have really good instincts, and he has that. And that's why we liked him when he came out, and he's proven that since he's been here. And I expect the production even to get higher. We got to get more ball production by the entire defense. That's something that we need to work on and get better at. We certainly had some opportunities yesterday, to get a couple. We had some mishops, so we got to really seize those opportunities.
With Khalil Herbert, what did it come down to in terms of him not being ready? Was he medically cleared or no?
Yeah, he just was, needed more time, and again, we'll assess all those guys this week, and we'll see where they are.
When you have somebody like Foreman playing as well as he's playing, does that give you a little bit of a luxury of time, or are they unrelated?
Yeah, we're certainly excited where Foreman is. Foreman's done a really good job of coming in and progressing and improving every single week. I know his first outing was just okay, and then he's gotten better and gotten better and gotten better. So yeah, he's we're really pleased where he is.
What was your opinion when you watched the film on the two offensive pass interference calls against DJ Moore? One was declined, but
Yeah.
DJ took issue with both of those yesterday.
Yeah, and with good right. I think that we're gonna look at those and turn those in, and we'll see what they say. But I certainly didn't see anything there. So
Yeah, I know you talked about Justin Fields a little bit last night, but again, does he get to shut it down for a few days, just like everybody else, or will he be working with trainers and continuing to rehab?
yeah, all the guys that are going through the injury deal right now are going to be working with our guys to get back. And he's no different than anybody else, but have no other update than that.
Matt, has Justin given you his green light that he feels ready to go at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're just going to leave it at that. He's all the guys are feeling in a good spot right now that are injured, and again, I have no other update for you than that.
Justin's toughness is so well documented going back to before he got here. Justin Fields.
Okay.
He's at Ohio State. Was he pushing you to let him play this week?
All the guys always push me to play, and it's always up to the trainers. The trainers are the guys that make that decision, that clear those guys medically, and when they do that, then we push them on the field and see where they are as coaches, and then go from there.
So did Justin do that? Was he telling you, hey, let me at least get warm-ups, let me just show you what I can?
Yeah, like I said, they all of them do that to me. They're always like that.
Sorry, the third down at the end, the decision to pass. What was the balance between the math, the analytics you guys have been talking about, and just your and Luke's feel for where you were at that point?
Yeah, it's kind of like I said last night. If you end up running it there, you punt and pin, and hopefully you're inside the 10, and it's a minute and 10, to go, and they got to go the length of the field, and certainly like the way our defense is playing. So that was certainly an option there. Then, just talking about it, with Luke and the play call, and we really liked that. We kind of knew what they were going to be in, and excellent route by Mooney, and what a pass by Bajan. Really good pass, put it right on the money, and really good job of working forward. In terms of getting the first down by Mooney as well. Took a big shot on there. I thought it was a really good job in terms of his courage, being in there in concentration.
Matt, with EQ coming back, you guys sat Bayless down. What's the message to Bayless, and is there a way that he can kind of work his way back at this point?
Yeah, so every week we look and see what the best combination for our roster is. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. Could be offense, could be defense, could be special teams, but we're going to make the best decision, for our team going forward every single week for what is the best chance to win.
But in
Thought
Bayless'
process.
case, though, to Josh's question, Bayless specifically, Bayless only. I know that you guys have wanted to give him opportunities in the game to correct things and to improve. Have you hit a point with him, particularly with the face mask penalty last week in New Orleans, that the mistakes are just too costly? You can't afford those when you're trying to win.
Yeah, like I said, every week we decide who the best people are, to come up for the game. And if somebody sits down because of penalty or inconsistent play, and somebody comes up because they are more consistent, that's where it is. We're always going to make the best decision for our roster to win that game.
Your decision to throw on third down at the end, how similar was the thought process to the 4th and 1 against the Broncos, where you're sitting there and you got to figure out, okay, what are we going to do here? And obviously they had two different results, but was the rationale the same kind of?
That's a good question. Yeah, I would say that it is. But they're all different.
Sure.
They're all different. One was 4th and 1. One's 3rd and 7. So it's the 4th and 4 when we were there earlier with T. Scott. What a great pass and a great catch. Great concentration there. There was guys on him, and really good concentration there.
It feels like you want to be aggressive. That if it's a 50-50 thing, you err on the side of aggressiveness late in the game. Is that a fair evaluation?
Yeah, they're all good decisions when they work, right? Yeah, we always want to be aggressive though, but we always want to be mindful of the risk reward, in each decision too.
Matt, what did you see from your defense, especially with regard to pressure that is universal, that will be just as effective against the Lions, who have a really good offensive line, as it was against the Panthers, who frankly don't.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be playing a good football team coming up, and pressure can be generated a bunch of different ways, right? So we gotta have to find a way to get that done versus a really good offensive line.
But was there any element of how you attacked Carolina's line that you think will also be effective against anybody you play? Whether it's Sweat or just
Yeah, I mean, nothing, no,
linebackers, right?
yeah, I understand the question, Mark, but I just think that it's, like I said, you can generate it a bunch of different ways. You can four-man rush, which we generated pressure with that last night, and then also five-man rush, six-man rush. We did all of them yesterday, and they all created pressure. So again, we're always trying to find that. We need to improve on that and continue to improve on that.
Matt, when you went back and watched the tape of Tyson Bagent, were there some opportunities for him to just pass the ball downfield that he just didn't?
Yeah, there were some opportunities, and I know he would say that too. But again, sometimes it's where the route needs to be ran correctly, and the guys need to be in the right spot, and it's all of us together for sure. But certainly left some opportunities out there.